Um, Hello, everyone. I know that people are still clicking back in, but it's probably a good time to get started. And I'm really very happy to welcome all of the parents and musicians who are going to make up the 98th season of the Portland Youth Philharmonic. My name is David Hattner. I've been the conductor and the musical director of the Portland Youth Philharmonic since 2008. And I know that some of you are new to the organization, and there's some people that you need to meet who are our colleagues, and some of them are still signing back in. Let me just say a little about the organization for those of you who are really new to us. The organization was founded in 1924. It's been in continuous operation since then under 5 permanent conductors. When I started the process of becoming the conductor, and I should say that I moved to Oregon, I believe the first week of August in 2008, so it's coming up on my anniversary time. I was really fortunate that a lot of people who know and love the organization spent a considerable amount of their time letting me know how important this organization was to them or meaningful in their lives in many different ways, including some of the former conductors. And everything we try to do here is in service not only of the musicians that we're hoping to educate and inspire, but also representing a historical legacy that is really important to all of us who are here. And we we all love this place, and we love the students who study with us and perform with us, and maybe even more than that, we admire them because it is a huge commitment, and it always has been. So I'm grateful for all of you being here today to hear the messages from everyone. So let's meet some of our colleagues who are really going to be right in front of you this year. And let's start with the conductor of our it's going to be our Pyp String Ensemble, its new name this year. And that is the Associate Principal Second Violin of the Oregon Symphony, Inés Voglar, Belgique.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited about this 98th season. It's like we're just in the steps of that 100th season. I'm super excited to meet everybody in person. Oh my gosh, can you believe? I think all of us are just like so excited. Pardon the noise of my fan, but it's kind of warm in here. Um, so I am, like I said, I'm very, very much looking forward to meeting all of you. And I'm looking forward to making music in person so you can hear each other. And we're going to have, I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. I play with the Oregon Symphony, assistant principal, second violin. I also play with a new music ensemble called Fear No Music. So I love working with living composers. I also play some chamber music around town and do some private teaching. So I like a little bit of everything. And I just love working with you guys. And this is my 7th season with the Portland Youth Philharmonic, and I'm very fortunate to have amazing colleagues. So we're gonna be doing some this last year we did a lot of new music, but this year we're gonna do a combo of some traditional, some Bach, some Haydn, some John Williams movie music. I always love to do some movie music, but it's super fun, but there's also a lot of stuff that we learn rhythmically with movie music. And I know it's Giancarlo's one of his favorite composers. And then we'll do some Bartok and our traditional plink plink plonk that we do every year for our cushion concert, as well as we're gonna work on one of the pieces that we had last year, Kayla's Danzón, and some of the pieces by other women composers. So we're gonna have a mix of kind of traditional classical music and some new music, and hopefully we'll also get to meet the composers, if not in person, via Zoom. Now that we have this amazing platform, we will have our scale challenge that we started a few years ago, and our book list, and I'll tell you more about it when we meet in person. But that's a fun project that we have throughout the year, and I think that's kind of it. We'll have our little warm-up routine, and and then some scale work, and then we'll get to learn the music for our concert. So looking forward to it.
Thanks, Inez. Of course, Inez has been involved with the orchestra a lot longer than since she's been the conductor, because she's been one of the coaches for the violinists for at least since I've been here, and certainly longer than that. So let's meet the conductor who's been with the organization by far the longest. That's Larry Johnson, who conducts the Pyp Conservatory Orchestra and also founded our wonderful wind ensemble.
Greetings, everyone. It's nice to be able to speak with you this evening. Yes, I have. I'm the old guy, I guess now. I've been associated with this organization now for, I think, 26, 27 years. I'm starting to lose how many years these days, but it's quite a while in some form or another. I've been the conductor of PICO now since 2005. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. I'm a French horn player by trade. I spent the first good chunk of my career as a professional French horn player, both in Europe and then also here. I've also had just finished up a 40-year career teaching in academia at a variety of different colleges in the area. So yeah, it's been an interesting career. And so I'm looking forward to getting back in the saddle to do in-person music with everyone. I've had a little shot at that this summer with my Wallowa Lake music camps, and the kids and the artist staff have been ecstatic about getting together and working. My plan this year was pretty much my plan before COVID started. We got involved with Dvorak's Sixth Symphony. We never finished it. And it's such a beautiful work and a great way to kind of get people back into music again, because it's so tuneful. So we're going to start with Dvorak's Sixth. We'll get as far as we can with it in the fall, because we all have to sort of get together and reconnect as to how to play together in person. During the winter, whatever we don't finish in Dvorak, I'll finish up in the winter, along with a wonderful work by African-American female composer from the 20th century. Her name is Julia Perry. And then we also have a movement or so of the Emperor Piano Concerto with the runner-up from the concerto competition. Finally, God willing, we'll do Sibelius 1 in the spring. And that will make for, I think, a really exceptional and hopefully successful season. Again, I can't wait to get started with in-person music making. So looking forward to seeing you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. We're all really excited about getting started. I was telling our folks here that this is the longest I've gone without performing since 5th grade or 4th grade, something like that. Since before I started the clarinet was the last time I went this long without being on stage. So now we should meet our Pyp Wind Ensemble conductor, who will get to conduct his first complete season, we hope, this year as the conductor, and that's Giancarlo Castro Dodona.
Thank you, David. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. So I'm going to speak really fast because I'm having some issues with my internet connection. So my name is Giancarlo Castro Dodona. I'm the conductor of Pyp, so the Portland Youth Wind Ensemble at Pyp. I'm also a composer. So when I am not working as a conductor, I'm composing new pieces for orchestras, band, chamber groups, and solo instrument. I play the trumpet as well, and I play a little bit of piano and saxophone too. I want to say that I'm very happy because this new season, we are going to be able to play together once again, of course, following all healthy protocols and policies related to COVID, and to warranty all safety conditions to everyone. We have a good number of musicians already enrolled at Pyp, and we are going to be playing some march for wind bands, some film music, as Inés say. So I'm huge fans of John Williams. Of course, we're going to play music by John Williams soon. and they're going to be very well done adapted for bands. And finally, my most ambitious project for this season is to perform the 1812 Overture by Tchaikovsky. We'll see. I want to say that I'm very optimistic to perform concerts after waiting for a while. I mean, for a long time, I think so. So I really hope to see you also. Thank you.
Thank you, Giancarlo. And as many of you know, there are still openings for most of the instruments in the PYP Wind Ensemble, particularly in the brass department. So please encourage your friends to audition. It might be worth noting that 2 years from now will be the 100th anniversary. And so being in PYWI this year would be the best way to train to be a part of the festival orchestra that we're going to have in 2 years. I should have mentioned that your questions are one of the most important things we're going to be dealing with in this meeting today. And it's not just the four of us who are here to answer them. We also have some other guests who are staying in the background for the moment, but they will make themselves known as we get forward. I should say a few things about what the Portland Youth Philharmonic Orchestra is going to do this year, because there were some questions about that. And I know I've talked about it with the musicians of the orchestra, but not with a larger group. So if, I'm just going to share screen very briefly and go through the music that has been programmed. So you will see for the November concert, the orchestra is divided in half. This is partly to have smaller groups to rehearse with. So for the string players, at least at the beginning of the fall, you will come on Saturdays only, and the winds, of course, as usual, come only on Mondays. Some of these pieces for the November concert you will recognize because you learned some of them either in PYP or in PICO last year. And we also are adding the Stravinsky Symphonies of Wind Instruments, something we did longer ago than I realized. I believe it's 9 years since we did it. And the Vaughan Williams Fantasia on a Theme by Thomas Tallis, which was last conducted here by Mei-Ann Chen. So it's been a good long time. And then at Christmas, as we talked about before, we're building it around Carlos Chavez's Sinfonia India, which will be a nice challenge. And then Kenji Bunch wrote a new piece that we were supposed to play last year, and we'll play it this year. And then in March, Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony, our piano concerto competition winner, Michael Gu with Prokofiev, and a William Grant Still Threnody, which has never been heard in Portland, I'm sure. And then in May, we'll finally get to hear Paulina Nazaykinskaya's First Symphony and the Leonore Overture No. 2, along with our concerto competition winner. And we're planning the concerto competition for October. So I hope some of you have some pieces ready to go. I'm very excited about this music. I think keeping the orchestra group smaller for the fall, since the Portland Youth Philharmonic, as usual, is very large, over 100 musicians. And the Conservatory Orchestra is planning similarly to rehearse winds and strings separately as the year begins, until we know exactly how it's all going to fit together in terms of being safe. We planned last season as we did because we wanted to make sure everybody who participates in PYP has a safe experience. And we're still interested in that. And that is why we sent out some materials today, which I hope all of you who are here have already read and are either in the process of being vaccinated or will start that process very soon, so that it will be taken care of by the time we start the season. So we do already have one question about the attendance policy, and will it be slightly loosened because there will be people who will have to miss rehearsals due to the health situation or any other things. And I would just say that we will consider that, and to understand that if you're not feeling well or cannot answer the questions in our pre-rehearsal check-in, which you do from home, then you shouldn't come to rehearsal. And make sure that depending, even if you know it's not COVID, don't come to rehearsal sick this year, or if there's somebody sick in your house. So that's the main thing. We will deal with the attendance policy. We're not thinking about perfect attendance this year. We're thinking about everybody having the best experience that we can provide, and also to make sure that we have the best chance that nothing unfortunate will happen during this year, because the news changes every day, and that's one reason we waited so long to announce this policy, is to make sure we knew exactly what we were talking about. So at this point, we should take any questions that you have about the we have two questions actually already. So one is about will Pyco String still rehearse on Tuesday? That's a yes. I believe the plan is for each winds and strings to have a 90-minute rehearsal and a 1-hour theory class. They'll just be separate and that will, so it'll still be 5:30 to 9 on Tuesdays. And the string rehearsal and the wind rehearsal and theory will all take place as usual during that time. And we have a question about how we're addressing the vaccination status, and I don't know, have who wants to take that question among our folks that are, yes. So Noreen will take that. You should know Noreen Murdoch, our executive director.
Yeah, I am the executive director, so I generally stay behind the scenes, not on stage or in the rehearsal room, but for sharing vaccination status, we're actually in the process of developing a form, some kind of a form where you can upload your vaccine card or other kind of document that shows proof of vaccination status, and we'll have staff certify that that has been, verified. And it is our aim to not keep a copy of those records. We're trying to set up a system so that we can just see it and then delete that file and not keep any of that on site. But that process will still be in the works, or is in the works, and PYP staff will be in touch with you about how to go through that process after that is finalized and set up.
Thank you, Noreen. And in the meantime, we've gotten a question about whether there will be separate woodwinds and brass for Pywe. At this time, no, there will not, because Pywe is understaffed. I think it's still under 30 musicians. And that's one of the reasons we would love your friends to apply and play in it. Or if you feel like learning a woodwind or brass instrument, this would be a really good time to do that. So that rehearsal schedule will be as normal: 1 hour of theory followed by about a 6:45 to 9 rehearsal. And it will almost certainly include the Treasury of Scales, in case you were wondering about that. So I know you're all looking forward to that. I think we have another questions. Are there two or one group of Pyco strings? I believe it's just one large string section for Pyco, which we'll rehearse together. So that's that. So those are we're still waiting to receive any questions about the policy that we announced today. This would be a good time to ask those, or really anything else about your participation in the program, or anything else we can help with. Because that's the main reason we wanted to do it in this format rather than just sending you more written materials, is that we can respond directly to, so we have some more questions. Do we have concert dates? We actually do have concert dates. And the ones for the Philharmonic Orchestra, I believe should be, in any case, on the website. Here's Amanda, who will be the director of operations this year. We should all congratulate her on her promotion, which is extremely exciting. As most of you know, Amanda's an alumna of the orchestra, and she's going to answer that question.
Hi, everyone. Regarding question about concert dates, we have updated our website with those tentative dates. So if you go to the ensemble pages, you can find the dates listed on the Google Calendar, as well as the dates written out. And what I'll do is actually put the links to it in the chat box, that way you can access it easily.
Great. I said I would answer the comment about all the policy, people appreciating it live. I meant to just type thank you. That's the very nice question. It's nice to hear. We have a question, is the summer social mandatory? In case you've already committed to something else on that day. That is a really good question. And I don't want to say it depends. It's extremely helpful if you are new to the organization, and quite helpful if you're new to the ensemble you've been placed in this year. For parents, it's a good orientation. However, if you're committed to something that's also extremely important, and then you will not receive an absence for that, but you will find a lot of things when you arrive at rehearsals confusing, and you'll end up asking a lot of questions that everyone else knows the answer to. So I think that's my answer to that question. Did anyone else want to take a swing at that one? Okay, so that's that. Is there a recommended place for purchasing concert attire? Did we want to talk about concert attire? I guess we just, it's one of my least favorite subjects because I hate formal wear. Most of you know that I don't wear it anymore when I can avoid it. However, I believe, Amanda, you can tell me if this is true, there is a place called Mr. Formal that is where a lot of people have shopped, and also, go ahead, Amanda.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, yes, typically when it comes to attire for boys, we do refer them to Mr. Formal, though any big department store, you should be able to find something that would be suitable for both boys or girls. So you could try Macy's or Kohl's or anything like that, that would be suitable. And if you have any trouble or have any questions whether or not a specific top or bottom is appropriate, you can always just ask me or your orchestra manager, and we can verify whether or not that's appropriate.
Very good. And we had a comment in the chat that the summer social is very helpful for finding a car. That I think went to everyone already. There's a place, stageaccents.com, which is another possibility. Will the summer social be in person, and where will it be? So Amanda, you want to take that one also, because I know we're still.
It is still being planned right now, though. We are gonna have partially a hybrid. If we do have anything in person, we will plan to only have students there and potentially have the parent meetings over Zoom or something like that. Though it's still in the works, so we'll keep y'all posted.
Thank you, Amanda. There's a question about YSE and what portion is 11 and under. I should say to everyone that Inés can only be here for a couple more minutes. So if you have questions for her or about YSE, ask them real quick. Go ahead, Inés.
So we will be able to wear masks during the rehearsal, and we'll be about 3 feet apart in the venue. I think so far there's 19 of us, and even if there's more, usually in a typical year there's between 35 and 40 kids, but I think if we have a few fewer, we'll have room to spread out. And because most of the students are between 8, 9 and 11. So, but we will be, following policy for unvaccinated students, and then keep our masks. We'll have hand sanitizer, and then I think, David, you want to talk a little bit more about this?
Sure, because there is a question about wind instruments.
Okay.
But the part of the question about who is 11 and under, it's a significant proportion of the string ensemble, but I don't know the exact numbers on that. And we're still hearing a few auditions in any case. There's a question about mask policy for wind instruments. So the policy is that it's that your mask is on unless you're playing, and then it's off for playing. So when you leave your rehearsal chair, you'll put your mask on for the rest of the time that you're in the building. But we won't have playing masks. We're still discussing the bell covers, which really covers the brass instruments more than the woodwind instruments, where it doesn't really do anything. Are we losing you, Inés? All right, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you at the summer social.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Amanda, would you like to, or Noreen, would you like to answer the question, how do students register for the upcoming season?
I can answer that. To my understanding, all returning musicians should have already received enrollment forms. So if you have not, for some reason, you can write me. I'll put my email in the chat box and we can get that sent over to you.
Thank you, Amanda. So the next question is whether there will need to be special masks for the winds and brass. At this time, no. I know we've discussed the bell covers for the brass instruments, but I don't know that we've made a decision about whether we would use them or not. Larry, you had a suggestion about the condensation issue. You want to go talk about that?
Yeah, hi again. Certainly for brass, I'm not so sure about woodwinds. We'll have to see how it goes. But we used, when we did our brass camp at West Lynn this last week, we were required to bring puppy pads. So I would assume brass players, you want to have some puppy pads available that you can put down on the floor for your condensation, so that we don't have to wash the floor between rehearsals. You can just pick up your puppy pad and take it with you. I suggested that if you forgot one, that PYP would have some available to you, so that we're not pouring our saliva on the ground in the cafeteria. So.
Great. So that is something that we'll probably talk about as we get closer to the season. But at this time, since we are planning to have all participants vaccinated, the masks for playing wind instruments should not be necessary. We also have two doctors here. So Suzanne or Jody, would either of you like to talk about the wind instrument issue from a scientific perspective?
Sure. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that, the whole goal is to control secretions. So whatever steps can be taken to avoid the secretions, traveling around the room is the goal. But obviously that's difficult with wind and brass instruments compared to strings. So, by distancing and by cleaning up, I think that that, and being vaccinated, of course, is the most important thing. That will be the best way to keep people safe. But I don't have any special insight into the scientific basis of wind or brass secretions.
Yeah, again, it's just a matter of how respiratory droplets would be dispersed. So more than anything, I would urge everybody, if you haven't had a chance, to take a look at the policy, which has an entire bundle of tools in the toolbox to address basically infection prevention and control. It's a really nice package that Noreen and the whole crew have put together. Everything from not only masking and vaccination, but also from environmental safety and overall ensuring that people are addressing health. So that's great. And the other thing, just to address the question about YSE and what proportion of people are under 12 years of age, they anticipate that trial data will be out in September for children aged 5 to 11, with the potential to have emergency use authorization for those who are aged 5 to 11 by December, January, if things look reasonable. So just to provide you with the latest, and that's just data out in the last 3 days from the FDA.
Wonderful. That's excellent. So many of you probably know Dr. Watnick and Dr. Kujevich because they're also parents of one current and one alumnus of the organization. So they've been very, very generous in helping us craft this policy. So thank you both. The next question is, are we going to be at Jackson Middle School? And the answer to that is we are hoping so, but we have not had an official answer from the Portland Public School District yet. And as soon as we know, you will know, but we certainly hope so. That's been a good home to us. And of course, we store a lot of our equipment there. So you'll be the first to know when it's official. And are there any alto saxophone openings in the wind ensemble? And the answer is we have 3 currently. There's no reason we couldn't have more saxophones. They do get to play chamber music. What we don't have is a baritone saxophone, but an alto saxophone is fine. Alto saxophonists have also been known to do well on the bass clarinet and sometimes even the clarinet as well. So, but they're certainly welcome to apply still and audition on the saxophone. And so far, those are the questions that we have received. So hopefully most of what we've said has been pretty clear, and so there doesn't seem to be much confusion. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add to what's been said already? So let me just say on behalf of the organization how grateful we are to all the musicians who perform with us, all the parents. I know this has been, it will be a truly historic year that we've all been through. And I can't even imagine some of the thoughts and difficulties that many of you encountered. And I'm hoping that our work together this year will be like a ray of sunshine that we've all missed terribly over this last stormy year. There's a lot of things we're all dying to express in our unique way that we do at PYP. And I think our audiences are also looking for inspiration. So we're excited about this year. I believe you'll be excited as well. So let me answer a question that just popped up in the chat. What advice can you give to new people auditioning? Maybe each of us can take that, but my advice is to learn your scales and to really practice them even after you've learned them, and make that a basis of your personal improvement, is working on your scales and arpeggios. If you're play a wind or brass instrument, we have a packet you can download which has the complete range of your instrument, and that you'll find that useful. And something that was said by a better musician than me, the slower you learn things, the slower you forget them. So slow down your metronome, which of course you have to use, and practice thoroughly and carefully, and be your own toughest critic, and don't be afraid to apply. Don't be afraid to apply. You'll get helpful feedback, and we have a lot of openings for lots of instruments. So come and play for us. We love hearing all the auditions. It's one of our favorite times of year. Where can we find the packet? Can somebody put the link? Amanda has put it in the chat there. So that's where the scale books are. Please share these with everyone you know, with your school band director, because they are very useful packets. Our concert locations included with the links Amanda posted. The locations for the string ensemble, wind ensemble, and conservatory orchestra concerts is still to be determined. We've got to have permission to be in the spaces we'd like to be in. We'd have the dates, so those will be forthcoming. The PYP dates at the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall are already saved there, and we do not plan to change those. So those are good questions. So thank you for that question about auditioning. I mean, it's exciting when the applications come in every year. We go through them, and we're looking to see, of course, those of us who conduct, whether our instruments are represented, make sure there's enough of those, and all sorts of things. So do encourage people, because we're going to be on fast forward all year, us conductors, because we have a lot of things we missed out on last year. We missed terribly doing it, and we want to create our sound, our sense of ensemble, and all the other things that go into PYP being PYP. We want to hear it. We're starved to hear your playing together, and I hope you are as well. So unless there's anybody else that has a question, or anyone else on the panel has a comment they want to make, I think we should let you get to your evening, and let the excitement build. We're even though the week where we hear the PYP seating auditions is a long and grueling week under any circumstances, live or recorded, we're always just blown away by the hard work that you do, by your commitment to playing in rhythm and playing in tune, and all the things that you do. We love it, and we're dying to hear you play, and we're dying to see you all in person. So enjoy the rest of your summer. Are there any cellists on your staff? Yes, I believe our alumni relations manager, Kristen Knapp, plays the cello, and I believe our office manager, Emily, also has played the cello in the past. So yes, in fact, there are cellists. So, and we love the cello. It's a wonderful instrument. I think it's one of Larry's special favorites as well. So thank you all. And you can email me personally, david@portlandyouthphil.org. You can email Noreen, same thing, first name, or Amanda, for anything else that you need to know or which comes up. And we'll see you in September. And some of you, well, we won't see your auditions. We'll hear your sound over the speakers at the end of August. So good luck preparing your auditions. Bring your friends. Bring your friends this year. We're ramping up to that big 100. If you're in 10th grade or younger, you're likely to be around for that, and you certainly wouldn't want to miss it. So congratulations to you all for being a part of this, and we'll see you very soon.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.